Roberts here, the Honest Huckster. Today I want to tell you about a wonderful, amazing, outstanding, colorful, new variety virtual extravaganza vaudeville show. Say that 10 times fast. Anyway, this is a one-of-a-kind show where there are 3 performers. There's an opening act, Mike Powers, who is an award-winning magician. And, by the way, he's our close-up opening act. He's amazing, engaging, and just a darn nice guy. Then we have Faust. Faust is an award-winning magician as well, who does an amazing style of magic with pantomime. The wall, the ball, all your favorites. He's also an amazing professional magician. Color, lots of fun, and more. And then, of course, there's me, the Honest Huckster. I'm the variety part of the show. Former Cirque du Soleil act, a 2-time Guinness World Book of Records holder for trick roping, gun spinning, whips, and also, I'm a professional magician. I'm the medicine show magician, the huckster, the hustler. You know, check for your wallet. Your customized show will be a virtual extravaganza, whether it's a party, a birthday party, an anniversary, or a corporate event. We can bring our show to the comfort of your own Zoom. I get it. Zoom, like, anyway. Oh, and once you see our Zoom studios, they're amazing. You'll see the beautiful graphics we have, overlays, and we can even customize the show and brand it with your logo. This way your audience feels that it is a show that you have created just for them. So bring a touch of magic and excitement and vaudeville to your next virtual gathering. Just click on the link below and let's have some fun. Now, I gotta get out of here. All right. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Will Roberts here, the Honest Huckster. I'm hearing other noise in the background. Hold on a second. We're going to go over here. And I think it's probably, there we go. It's probably just like aliens. I tend to get, during my broadcast, aliens kind of contact me, you know, give me the wisdom of the world or the universe. Anyway, welcome to the show. Different look you might see. I'm enjoying it. I decided to lay my carpet on the wall and use that instead of the curtain I had. Every once in a while I vacuum it sideways. Anyway, hey, welcome to the show. I don't know what the hell I'm saying, but it doesn't really matter. Having a good time? Damn, there goes the ace of spades. So just so you know, today we have a really good show, a really big shoe, and a wonderful guest or two. You never know who's going to drop by Will's parlor. This is my parlor kind of a, you know, background look. Anyway, having a lot of fun here and doing lots of stuff. It does have to do with magic. Again, you can go to our site, which is basicsofmagic.com. I've got too many websites. That's what happens when you start with COVID and you're sitting at your home going, hey, what am I going to do now? You build websites. And so I've been doing that and just having a really good time building websites. But I just want to tell you that there's a wonderful magician that's on today, Tommy. And Tommy, I've met Tommy. Gee whiz, I guess I met him through Faust, who, again, is one of my regulars. He's a regular. I have him on a lot because he complains to me a lot. So I need someone to constantly complain to me. And he's it. But without, you know, I'm just kind of joking aside, he's awesome. Oh, we do have people saying things on our comments, which is awesome. I've got my windows all, there we go. Look at that. Hello. Well, hello to you, and hello to the gents as well with me today. Of course, Tommy Burnett, the magician. Tommy Burnett, if you know another one, it's not him. It's probably Tommy Burnett, the magician that I'm having on. Very excited because I love what Tommy does, his energy. He is a lot on a show called Buddy Cast, and that's where I met him. Anyway, that's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, so the other person coming on, of course, is our good friend Faust. He will be on and having a chat with, I like what he does because he brings the perspective of the philosophy of magic and all kinds of like really deep stuff that I obviously don't have that capacity to do. That's it. Anyway, but without further ado, I'm going to launch into something. You know what I love the most about the internet? By the way, I am broadcasting as well on Instagram. But if you're watching Instagram, you got the cheap seats because you're going to see green back here because it's a green screen. Anyway, so if you're on there, click the link. Hey, Klaus, what's up? Click the link and you can see the real show with the real stuff and the real guests. Because right now you're going to see me talking, and if you're watching, and if I see you on here for the next 10 minutes watching me alone in a green screen, I'm going to know you really have nothing to do. Anyway, check out the site, and you're going to love it. But without further ado, I'm going to show you a really cool video. And what I love about the internet nowadays is that you can find virtually anything, and gems like this. Doug Henning, love Doug Henning. Been doing magic, been doing magic since 1980, 81. That means I'm 105 in dog life. And with that being said, one of the most amazing performers back then was Doug Henning, and he's no longer with us, wherever you happen to be. He's probably floating somewhere in between, because if you know of Doug Henning, well, watch this. You're going to love this. Then we'll come back with our guest.
Back when I was doing the magic show on Broadway, I think you were the very first young lady to play the title role in the musical Annie, correct?
That's right. That was 5 years ago. And then I did what kids usually do. I grew up.
How many Annies has there been on Broadway since then?
There have been 5, including the current Annie.
Aha. Well, I know you're now doing lots of theater and television, but I'd like to take you back in time to your Annie days.
Sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say,
Wow, I would be lying if I didn't say I got a little teary-eyed. You know, back in 80, wow, I think that was like 70 or late 70s, early 80s. I remember, you know, starting off in theater and seeing Andrea McCarter. Actually, I met her because I was doing working at a place called Frohman Academy for Musical Theater Education, and a lot of my Facebook followers right now will know that name. Our dear friend Michael Pippi, who created that with the Frohmans, who were actually it was a society, not a society, an endowment for the arts back in Central California at the time, and they had a musical theater school. And the cool thing about this musical theater school was Sidney Frohman, who was the lawyer basically his family, the Frohmans. If you look up vaudeville, they were one of the main producers of Broadway. And so got a chance to meet her because she came into a summer dance camp, musical theater camp that I was sort of teaching a little bit at, and I danced for many, many years, and musical theater was really what I was going to do until I realized that you really can't make a lot of money off that. So with that being said, I went into theater and went into film and TV. And you can't make money in that either, but I do okay. Anyway, without further ado, I'm very excited to bring a gentleman into this show, and very excited because I want you to see him perform and do what he does. And then after the break, after that, we'll come back on and bring him in. So hang tight, Tommy Burnett.
And as far as you know, nobody else knows what you're thinking of either, right? So this is the real thing is the first letter in your word. So if you don't mind, just tell me the first letter in your word.
R.
R. No, it's just King. There's an R. And let me guess, the next one is an E, yes? Is it an E?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Is it E? And the last one, go ahead and say it next aloud. And check out the envelope, make sure there's nothing else in there. Is that your word, man?
That's the word.
Give them a round of applause. Thank you. Excellent.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Barnett, how are you, my friend? Uh-oh, wait, I don't hear you. I think it's because I turned you off for a minute there. There you go. Sorry about that. Hey,
Okay,
welcome
hi.
to the show.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Well, first of all, I have to say I love that trick, and it is a phenomenal trick. And also, I love the fact, did you do that at a theater? Because what a great black box theater.
I did. That was at the Tank here in New York City.
Where was it exactly?
It's called the Tank. They're now doing online performances. In fact, Flavors of Magic
Yep.
was by the Cyber Tank.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to perform there live twice in 2019, and I was supposed to again in 2020, but COVID hit, and
Yeah.
every show I had lined up from January to April, all got canceled within 2 days.
But you have done real well virtually because I see you a lot of places, my friend, and that's a good thing. You have definitely bobbed and weaved and done a great job in regards to staying afloat in this virtual magic performance world. Um, did you just jump in when it started, or I mean, how did it go for you?
Well, similar to you, um, I grew up in a theatrical family. My father was an actor, and he did most of his stuff on TV and movies, but he also was on Broadway a couple of times. So I've been familiar with being in front of the camera since I was probably in second grade.
Wow.
Um, even though I have cerebral palsy, and you would think that I would be like the last person you would expect to see on TV, but as it turns out, people like me. So
Well, you're a good-looking guy. You got well, first you have the trending no hair, and you've got a
there you
beard.
go. Yeah.
You got two things on me. You got two things on me, brother. And by the way,
Yeah.
you said, and like you, Will, I grew up with a showbiz family. No, I actually grew up with a carny family and then prison, but somewhat.
Okay. Well, close, close.
Okay, so I ask you, how did the journey of magic actually start for you?
Very early on, my recollection is that I picked it up around 6 years old.
Wow.
Um, I was doing card tricks for my grandmother's friends who were all lawyers,
Right.
and they were all very impressed with me as a young lad. But looking back, I think they were being nice. But my mother is one of my biggest fans. So,
Oh, that's
um,
because I always used to get in trouble because I didn't tell my parents. My dad, I remember the one time my dad said to me, "Okay, so you did that trick. Can you tell your mom you did it?" I went, "No, I can't do that because I would be telling the secret." And he goes, "If you don't tell, if you don't tell your mother how you did that trick, then you're grounded for a week." And I went, "Okay." So I was grounded for a week, and man, did I learn a lot of
that's
extra.
funny. Yeah, I got in trouble a lot as a kid from like dropping coins in the middle of the night when I was practicing time or doing a coin roll, and the coin would fall on the floor and wake up my dad in the middle of the night. And he was a big man, so I would hear him storming down the hallway and busting into my room. Um, so it's
That's
amazing that I'm still in love with magic and the whole life. Um,
we've talked about it a lot on the show, and later on, well, just a little bit later on, we're going to bring Chris
yeah,
Herron, who is Faust. But doing magic is definitely something that when you start doing it and you start getting okay at it, then it's like a drug. And I
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I keep ordering magic. Obviously, by the way, folks, the show is brought to you by Zucchini's Tricks and Things on the infamous Cannery Row in Monterey, California, where I started doing magic about 40 years ago. And the fact of the matter is that even to this day, it seems as though a box will come into my my Amazon box or wherever from the magic shop or something where I'm ordering tricks. I haven't really even caught for the last 3 years that I've been everything shipped to my house. But every once in a while, I grab something. By the way, there's a really great trick that I got from Tony Clark that I love to do, which is this one, and it is such a great trick. I love it. It's a wonderful trick, and I just think it's a really cool trick. And if you want to get this, I can tell you you can get it at the Magic Apple. Giving him a plug, which is Brent Garris in Studio City area, and it is such a great trick. Anyway, the bottom is I want to ask you, what is the first trick that you recollect that you went, oh, I saw, was it a magician you saw? Because I saw one at a theater in Chicago because I'm from Chicago. Where was it? And first trick that you went, I got to do.
It's funny you played Doug Henning earlier because he was a big influence on me
A lot of us.
growing up. Um, because of the magic show was the first real live performance of magic I had ever seen by a professional, like a really world renowned musician.
Yeah.
And I was up in the nosebleeds, so I got to see a lot of the stuff that people who were paying the big bucks didn't see. So like, and that was like very emotionally charging for me. It really got me wanting to do more and not only learn but create my own stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and which I've been doing for 40 some odd years.
Oh, I think
Um,
maybe 25. How old are you?
I'll be 28 this week.
Good man. Good man. You're getting some comments here. Oh, good. Hey, thanks, Rusty. Nice seeing you. Omar. Hey,
Omar, yes.
and of course, always have magic.
I'm meeting with Omar. I'm meeting with Omar after this.
Oh yeah, he's probably
Uh,
like, why is he late for rehearsal? Anyway,
yeah.
we're gonna take this. We're gonna take a small little break to watch this cool little intro that I've created for my good friend Faust, and then we're gonna bring him on. So hang tight, really quickly,
Cool.
and
Cool.
we're gonna go from there. And it goes like this. So, very excited to say that Chris and I and Mike Powers have a show tomorrow on New Year's Eve. We might have a couple of them, but ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my good friend, of course, Faust, Chris Heron. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. Bill. I'm doing real good. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Hey,
Good,
by the
good.
way, you can check out the site, the new URL that we have called aneveningofmagic.com. How do we get that? Aneveningofmagic.com, and that's kind of fun. Uh, just so you know, hey, so Chris, welcome, and how's your day going, brother?
It's doing good. Doing good. I definitely, I worked with Tommy before, and I gotta say, to have him on as a guest is a real treat, and to hear his story and his take on magic is just a real treat. So I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah, I would say so too. And by the way, someone just asked, wasn't Faust the artist in the movie Tombstone? I think
Yes.
so, Rusty. I do think so.
Mhm.
Um, so, guys, here we are, and here we are about to get out of 2020. And when we hit January 1st, of course, it will be 2020 hindsight. Just so you know, get it? 2020 hindsight. That's how it goes. I do have to
Mhm.
admit, I do hear that. I do by all means hear that noise. It sounds like that Luke Skywalker is playing with the orb.
Yeah.
That might be me. That might be me.
Maybe if you try turn down your volume just a little bit, Tommy, unless you can't hear us already. Just see what happens if you turn it down just a bad bit. I think what's happening is it's going back to the phone. But Chris, yeah, you mentioned, and I always love to have you on as a perspective with the other entertainers, especially Tommy, because you've known him for a while. In
Yeah.
regard to starting off in magic, what keeps people passionate about magic? What is it that you think? I mean, share your philosophy about why people stay and get attached to magic, and it becomes such a love and passion.
Well, for me, I think if you watch the Doug Henning film, I think that is a fine example of a magician connecting with his or her audience.
Yeah.
And whatever connection was made, whether it was a good memory or a bad memory or just a happy memory, there's a connection there. And I think that's what magic does, is it reminds us of something. But it's the responsibility of the magician to be able to trigger that sort of connection with the audience and take them on a journey. And I think you know the audience, when they experience that in itself is magic. And I think that term, it's more than just tricks. When you watch Doug Henning, and what he did just there is what real magic is. His He touched emotion and he connected with the audience.
Well, you
Mhm.
do know. I don't know if you know this, but Doug Henning, I at one point kind of a little bit gave up the magic world and tried to really do more TMD or was it transcendental whatever.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
He literally was trying to quote unquote float, and I know he was doing traveling and doing that.
Yeah, Will, I think that's the journey of magic. From what I was taught is you start off as the trickster and later go on to become a sorcerer, an oracle, a sage. And, perhaps in his journey, he was seeking something more. And I think as you learn more about the art of magic, I think it's a natural tendency to explore those more esoteric side of magic, whether you subscribe to that or not.
Yeah, I would agree with you because I think we've talked about this, and I want your take on this, Tommy. Is that I
Mhm.
have one around here. I do have a bunch over there. They're called books, and in the old days when we only looked at books, yeah, I know, and we would sit there with the book in front of us and go, okay, I'm going to do an Elmsley count, and I'm going to, and you would just look at it. I personally would be smelling them a lot. I know that sounds strange, but I can tell you from my own experience that that is part of it because as a professional actor, that's one of the big deals is the journey, as you say. And really, if I'm not involved in it, like I have this character now that I've been doing for several years, it's not something I went know, I think it'd be cool because I look good in a vest. And, there was a whole thought process behind this, and a love, and Chris and I share this, a love for a period of time. Tommy, what's your thought about the passion of magic?
Well, I mean, if you don't have the passion, it's not going to work. You
Right.
know, um, so I've had periods of time where passion kind of didn't leave, but it was subdued, and I did other things. Um,
Hmm.
and I always ended up coming back to my main love, which is magic. And to me, to me, magic is more than doing tricks.
Yeah.
What people saying, if I can enlighten someone or give somebody a brighter day than when they came in, I've done my job. It's not tricking people is one thing,
Yeah.
making it that real deep connection with somebody that will last a lifetime. And I
Absolutely.
think that's why Doug Henny meant so much to me because I agree. Doug Henny did with me in a very appropriate way. Um, but as a child, um, I first saw him on stage. He was a guy. He
Yeah.
was a guy in suspenders, and he wasn't like all dressed up in a, you know, he did all this unbelievable magic,
Right.
and yeah, um,
You know,
it,
I'll say, one thing about Doug Henning and any of the, again, I don't, I mean, I know you've been doing this for 100 years. I know Chris has been doing it for 100 years. And one thing I just want to say about, when I started back in the 80s, magic, magic goes like this, goes like
yeah,
this all the time. It depends on who's hot, back what, 5, 6, 7, when I was in Cirque du Soleil, Chris, whatever his Angel, and all the guys on the streets that were doing magic, and people were going, "Wow, mother!" And that was the new thing, the street magic, where people just basically, I don't know, but they just needed to,
oh, yeah,
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 they needed to
yeah,
respond that way, whatever. Not the street performer thing. I'm okay if no one swears during my tricks, but I guess that means
yeah.
they're really amazed. But the point I wanted to make is that Doug Henning, David Copperfield, Paul Harris. Um, Slideen, all the people that back then were just like flourishing. And, that was a really big time in magic when Doug Henning was around. Very defining during that.
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You know, see, I mean, that sort of magic was done on a big stage, but it was very grand in the way magic was done. And then if you see the present form of magic, I mean, we've turned it back into time. I mean, it's become more close up now, which is what's hot on the market, which is fine. And I think, it's great to have a well-rounded view of what magic can be,
Right.
you know. And we obviously see how Copperfield does it, Henning does it, and it's definitely a great thing to see that, and David Blaine and Chris Angel, of course. He is a scary but but for sure, I do agree that it's, and when we see that the different kinds of magic, like I said, we're seeing a different sort of form of magic occurring, and seeing the different styles is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, I want to say thank you for coming on the show. And Tommy, of course, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Chris, of
Thank
course,
you.
thank you all very much. Have a great, safe, happy New Year. We'll be back out after the first of the year doing more. Got some really good stuff happening with the show. If you're interested in booking us, an evening of magic is of course the site, or zoomfieldfollies.com. But an eveningofmagic.com is a place to come and check us out. But guys, thank you very much, and be safe and be well this next year.
Hey, you too.
Hey, everybody, I really hope you had a good time. And I'm Will Roberts, of course, the Huckster. And I want to tell you that it was great for you all to come and visit. That's all I want to say. Just get out of here, have fun, be safe. Oh, look at this. We have more people happy and many returns. We've got some people responding, which I love. And enjoy yourself. I'm going to sit here for a while because actually now I have a rehearsal with two of the guys doing the show tomorrow while I spin my guns. Anyway, why not, right? All right. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you next time. See you, everybody, and bye bye.